Hey, look who's on the line. One of our favorites. It's Gerry Hamilton, Senior Recruiting Analyst at On3 Sports inside Texas. And doing great stuff at that website and on their On Texas Football channel. He is Gerry Hamilton. G-Man, how are you?
I'm great, man. How are you guys? We're Rod. We're one win away from a Rangers-Astros ALCS. That'll be epic in the state of Texas if it happens.
Damn right, baby. Some of those games are gonna feel like a little bit of Texas OU, man. You're gonna have the rivalry. You're gonna have that.
I'm glad you went there. I'm glad you went there because I totally agree.
Nice.
Oh, they'll be. It's what when the Astros moved from the National League to the American League, it was kind of always the hope that could happen to build this rivalry, and now we're a win away. Let's not jinx our Astros, Jerry. They got to get this victory tonight or in Game 5, but it feels pretty good right now after the big wins yesterday. And yes, that will be some kind of couple of weeks of baseball and the rivalry on top of it. Jerry, before we talk recruiting side of it, what was just your take on the Texas OU game? It was a thriller. It was a hell of a football game. You were there in the building. What was your read?
I'll tell you what, it was an unbelievable college football atmosphere. I mean, look, I left the hotel at 6:45 Saturday morning. And I said, it's 6:45. I'll be down there by 7, where I was staying 15 minutes. I've never seen that much traffic when I hit I-30 going to the Cotton Bowl. You're a couple exits away when you hit I-30. Never seen that much traffic at 7 a.m. for Texas OU.
Wow.
So I said, magnitude just went up a little bit. Then I got into the stadium. My son and I had never been before, and I think he was a little bit in shock because I kind of prepared him because he was at Texas-Bama game with me last year, not this year, last year. And just with college game day there, but there were more people there. I saw more 7 a.m. corn dog consumption than my other 3 or 4 years when I've been there for the 11 a.m. kick. I mean, it was amazing how many people were there. The college game day set was incredible, how many people were just hanging around there. When the Texas bus came in, how many people were there. You could just tell it was a big-time game, different than some others. And then, during the game, the first 6 minutes of game action were absolutely wild for the fans. I mean, fans looked exhausted after 6 minutes. And I was like, dang, we've got 54 minutes to go here. But from a recruiting standpoint, guys, and I said this last night with Rod, and I said it with Justin Wells, and I'm not just saying this because Texas lost. I'm not one of those people, man. In fact, some Texas fans don't like me because I call it like I see it. There was no loser from a recruiting standpoint in this game. I'd be saying the same thing if Oklahoma had lost the game. It was too great of an atmosphere. It was too great of a game and too great of a setting. And both teams, 34-30 goes down to the last minute. Both teams ranked in the top 10, but still, and should be the rest of the way unless they collapse. It was an unbelievable game for recruiting for both programs. Now, Texas needs to go handle their business the rest of the way, but with the young 2025 kids in the stands, 2026 kids in the stands, there was no recruiting loser coming out of that game. That I'll tell you.
Yeah, Jerry, and what particular specific players that came to that game do you think right now are leaning to Texas, potentially in your mind?
Yeah, the interesting thing is Texas extended an offer to a safety named Xavier Filsame, 5-star out of McKinney, who's originally from Orlando. He's committed to Florida. They extended an offer to him Saturday on the way down to the game.
Wow.
Inside Texas, I actually broke that news. He was coming to the game Friday and then broke the offer news Saturday. But I'm not saying he's leaning to Texas, but he's the new name for Texas fans in 2024 because most of that hay is in the barn. But that's a new name for Texas fans. But Georgia's also making a strong push there, which does tell you he's really good because Will Muschamp doesn't exactly recruit stiffs at safety. Look, that kid's really talented. Some of the 2025s, the linebacker at McKinney High, Riley Pettijohn, ranked top 65 in the country. I think he's a slight Texas lean over Florida State, Florida, LSU, but that one's a long way to go. Michael Fasusi, the top offensive tackle in the state in the junior class and maybe the top pass protector in the country in the junior class. That's a Texas-OU battle. I think Texas was out in front of OU headed into the season. I think those are neck and neck. That's the one battle in state Kyle Flood and Biedenbaugh, man, and Venables and Sark, they're going at it for this kid because he's special in pass protection, or he could be. That was one. You know, the running back from New Orleans, Harlem Berry's interesting one that was there, guys. I was by the school in August. He is very fast. Rod's watched him, very elusive. I'm not comparing him to Jamal Charles because I'm not sure. You know, you play private school ball in New Orleans. I'm not going to compare you to Jamal Charles at Port Arthur Memorial, who every Friday night everybody was gunning for him and he had to put it on the board. But Harlem Berry has some of the same skill set, let's say. But Harlem being there was interesting because that's a Texas, Florida, LSU. And LSU's been the childhood favorite for him. But we found in recruiting nowadays that doesn't mean you're going there, but they have to first, and the doors cracked open more for them throughout the process. His uncle is Jabbar Jalouk, the running back coach at Florida. But who knows what's going to happen at Florida, man. They got a huge game this weekend, else the natives are definitely going to get restless already, especially when you look at Florida's 24 schedule. But Shashard Choice, you know Texas is going to be in that final group for anybody he recruits at running back. Harlem Berry being there was big.
Harlem Berry. How about this, Rod, on our Rod and Gerry Hamilton with us from Inside Texas. On our text line, we got a text says, I have a 5-star cousin, safety, who may be coming to the Horns. Don't know why it's taken so long to recruit him. He committed to Florida, but it's about to change. That's got to be Xavier Filsame, right? I mean, now we're getting text from his cousin saying it's about to change. That could be a crazy text out of nowhere, but just to pass along that information.
Hey, that's a great. Hey, there's Aaron, but breaking news, baby.
See, come on, man.
Here's the thing. Here's the thing with him for Texas fans to know, and I put a story up kind of to get to know his recruitment Sunday. His dad lives in McKinney. His mom lives in Orlando. Mom works in Orlando. He moved to McKinney in 6th grade. That's why early in this recruitment, everybody just thought he's going to head to Florida. He's going to Florida because his mom's there. He's from there. And look, this is what happens when programs don't win, you know, and that negative talk starts. I mean, Florida has a huge game this weekend. The question is, with Georgia making that, even though Georgia's making that run, somebody close to that recruitment told me Sunday, they think he's going to play college ball in Texas or Florida. And the fact that he mentioned Texas or Florida, it's telling to me that Texas is very much in it. And I don't think this is an offer that Texas makes unless they know the kid has serious interest.
And safety position is of need. We know Derek Williams is there, but they're going to need some guys back at that end that can shore it up. Hey, Gerry, the basketball side, there's apparently a big basketball commitment. We know it's coming down to Texas and Baylor. Trey Johnson, what's the latest there?
Yeah, the question with Trey is he going to sign early, commit and sign in the fall, or is he going to wait until the spring? That's kind of up in the air. The number 4 player in the country, 6'5", tremendous scorer, shooting guard. He's a guy that should average 17, 18 in the NBA one day. I mean, that's just the level of player he is. The question with him is going to be the NBA G League Ignite. He left Lake Highlands after they won the state title. He's at Link Prep in Missouri, which he should go to because you can make NIL money. You can't in Texas as a high school player. You can't in some other states. So he should make that move. He's not doing anything wrong by leaving Lake Highlands. He got him a state championship. His dad was on staff there. But the question there is, when is he gonna make his decision, and when is he gonna sign? And then you have to hold off the G League. I mean, I believe Ron Holland got around $800,000 from G League Ignite. That's a lot of money to turn down. I don't care about NIL. That's a lot when you get to that level. So Texas or Baylor, whoever wins out there, and I think Texas has had a lot of confidence in this recruitment. Baylor got the last official visit. Obviously, his father began his college career at Baylor there. That's when Rodney Terry and Richard Johnson, the father, they've had a relationship since that time because Rodney Terry was on staff as an assistant at Baylor at that time. So there's a long-standing relationship with Rodney Terry and Johnson family. So Texas knows exactly where things are at in this recruitment. Again, though, the question is, when is he going to make his decision and when is he going to sign? And I think we'll know that in the next couple of weeks.
Hey, Gerry, everybody always is trying to keep up with where you're going. It's a bye week for Texas. You got any special plans to get out and see any recruits or prospects?
Yeah, I'm going to get out a little bit tomorrow. Friday, I'm actually going to go to Willis to watch Willis play. And that sounds weird because they have a 5-star quarterback committed to Florida, DJ Lagway. I'm not going for that. Willis has some younger kids. They have a 2026 kid, which 2026 doesn't get me out very often. A kid named Jermaine Bishop that the high school coach at Willis is saying if there's a better 2026 defensive back in the country, he would like to see him. That's how good this kid is. Texas has offered him. So I'm going to hit some schools in the North Houston area on Friday. I'm going to hit a few schools on Thursday as well. But I'm staying in the Houston area this week. By the way, I need to mention, though, Texas extended an offer last night after we got off the air, Rod. Alex Foster, defensive lineman out of Greenville, Mississippi, committed to Baylor.
Wow.
Texas offered him. He's 6'5", 270, really athletic kid from smaller school out in Greenville, almost on that Arkansas border. But obviously Bo Davis is from there. But Texas extended an offer to a new 2024 D lineman last night, and I expect Ole Miss to offer him soon. He's a kid that was 6'5", 230, 6'4", 235 as a junior. He's now 6'5", 270. They even listed at 275. Really high upside athlete at defensive line.
Wow. There it is. That's why he's the best. Gerry Hamilton, Senior Recruiting Analyst, Inside Texas on 3 Sports. Thank you, G. Safe travels through the weekend, my friend. We'll talk next week.
Thanks, Jerry.
You got it, man. Thank you, guys.
There you go. He's the best.
He is awesome.
He'll be on the recruiting show. Sark and his coaches will be all over the high schools. You can bet starting tomorrow night all over. Making the visits with all the staff with the bye week here. Big time right there.